So how are rehearsals going and all that? Is it fun?
Yeah.
How's the roller skating?
Interesting.
Magical.
It's roller skates.
Magical.
We haven't all had our skates on stage yet. We've mostly been going to, there's like a roller rink in town that's been like shutting down for us for 2 hours every day on Saturdays, so we can like go over there and learn to skate, so that's been kind of cool. It's been working.
And do all of you have to roller skate in? Does everybody roller skate or?
At the end we all do.
The way we did it, yeah, I mean, Mary Testa was not going to get on skates.
I can't imagine that, but I would have loved to be a fly on the wall if she did.
Yeah, our muses did not, just because they were character actresses, were like, no! And Danny, Tony Robbins also didn't. He was 75, we wouldn't want that. But, who are the muses?
Let's see,
Technically.
We have extra music.
There are a few here, but
we kind of beefed up, we did 9 muses. So we took a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? We took a little bit, adjusted the script just a little bit to incorporate all 9 muses.
and they are going to roller skate. They are going to roller skate in the last number.
Nice. How'd you guys pick this?
You know, it was one of those God moments.
It was truly a God moment. We've been working
We
together
were
for
looking at
33
something
years.
else, and I was thumbing through, and I went, "Oh, look at the score!" And we're kind of short on men right now. And I thought, "Wow."
But we literally went down, we were looking at scores. We were thinking about all kinds of things, and we were in his office at his computer. And we were going down the computer, and all of a sudden we got to X. He said, Santa 2. What about Santa 2?
And so then I started doing a
I
little
just had a
thinking.
nose job done. Please don't let me laugh.
What's that about your nose job?
I just had a nose job done 2 days ago, and I can't laugh.
Because
I'm so
she,
sorry.
an accident, broke her nose.
Not voluntary.
It's your first one. It's not a voluntary nose job.
It's not a deviated septum.
No. It was my own stupidity. Whatever you do, look down if you have tied shoes. Okay, because I was coming out of the bank and my shoelace was untied and I didn't look down and I tripped on the concrete.
Oh.
Oh, ouch, baby, no.
So,
was bad.
you know, the big selling point for me with the show were the tunes.
Yeah.
You know, and then to read the script and see what it's such a funny script.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
especially those of us that were old enough to have originally watched the movie
Right.
and who wore those clothes and who said those things that we should have never said
Yeah.
and did things that we should have never done. It was like deja vu
Yeah.
all over again. So
It's great. I mean, it's also short.
Yeah.
And are you guys doing intermission or no?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. See, that's
Did
the
you
best.
do?
No intermission.
Yeah, we
It was
didn't. We're not either.
So great. The revival of Les Mis, not this one, but the one before. God, they revive it a lot.
Every time you turn around.
well, that and Gypsy.
Yeah, but the revival before this Les Mis was next door to us because we were at the Helen Hayes, and when we would get done with Xanadu,
The whole
they
show.
would be done with act. They would just be on the barricades in Act 1, finishing. I'm like, see ya, I'm going home to watch Revenge, and you're
Yeah,
being
we
Act
joked
2.
about having done King and I and South Pacific and
Oh, yeah,
you know,
we were
these
talking
classic
about
My Fair Lady,
Oh.
where Act 1 is 9
3 hours
minutes long.
Uh-huh.
And we're done. And we're going to start at 7:30. So at 9 o'clock, we're cleaning up and walking out the door.
That's so great.
And
it's
rehearsal is
fun.
great
It's-
too.
yeah.
Because, you know, okay, now we're going to run Act 1, which is 90 minutes long.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're running the whole show.
Right. When is it again? A month?
We open the 18th.
18th through the 22nd.
Wow.
We're getting there.
Yeah. What's tomorrow?
I said lines are due tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys off? Booked?
Oh, we're ready.
Ish?
They
can
were
talk to you
hoping-
about that one, actually.
They were
You guys
hoping
have
I
a
wouldn't
lot.
be
You
here
expect
today and
to-
tomorrow.
So much. Like those last 4 pages in Mount Olympus. I remember Carrie was always just, after we did that for, I think it ran for about 15 months. Yeah. The last few months or something, she just kind of got in her head about I don't know if I know these lines, because once you've said something so many times, you can barely even remember if you know English. Oh my God. So yeah, you have the heavy lifting as far as the lines.
And make sure you tell them how you ended up in the Broadway production as opposed that you had done readings.
Right. So yeah, so you guys know, obviously, before a show is a Broadway show, it's a reading and then a workshop and all that stuff. But I had done all of the readings and workshops of Xanadu with Jane Krakowski, you know, from 30 Rock and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we had done 4 of them, and pretty like fully staged things, like, you know, she wore kind of a costume, and we did, you know, these were all just ideas to get funding, because people were like, really, Xanadu?
I can imagine.
Yeah, but seriously, it's actually really good. And it was really, really fun and really great, and then she got 30 Rock, the pilot, and then it went. And she couldn't do the show anymore, and they asked us to go to Broadway. The show is, for me, really lives or dies by the relationship between, you know, Sonny and Kira. If you don't see them together, if you don't care that they're together, it's like, why? So when she dropped out, I just thought, I can't do it without her, because I'd done it 4 times with her, and I didn't want, you know, some other girl coming in. It was just. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and pass, and it wasn't worth it to me. So I said no thanks, and then went on to something else. And then they cast it, James Carpinello and Carrie Butler. And then they were about a week, I want to say maybe even like 9 days away from opening. And James Carpinello, he was in like Saturday Night Fever and a bunch of other things. Really great dancer, really good skater, like a trick skater, like crazy stuff. You know, before you do a show that has any kind of fight stuff, do you guys do fight call?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did skate call, which would probably be a good idea for you guys too.
Very, very much.
Yeah, it's really helpful just to get on your
Yeah.
feet and get on in your body. It's just such a great warm up. Also, just your whole core is engaged, and you guys have all learned how to fall safely, right? Where you just don't fight it, because when the audience sees you going down, you're gonna go down. You can't like fake that you're not falling, because everyone's gonna watch you. And you know, me, all 6'3" of me, and you, when you fall, which you probably will. I mean, everybody will. Just go for it. Just like kind of soften your body a little bit, and then just get back up. It's not the end of the world. But James was doing the skate call, and he was everybody was tricking around, and he said, "You guys," "there's a seam here, so careful when you skate over this. You don't want to do this." And then he did like a fake fall. You don't want to do this. And then as he fake fell, he actually fell and broke his leg in 4 places.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Horrible. Like just screw. Almost.
So that wasn't during a performance. I mean,
No,
it was just like
it was prior to the show, right before doing the lesson. So the director of the show, Chris Ashley, who I had done All Shook Up with years before, called me that night at about midnight, and I hadn't heard from him in a long time. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And he said, basically, we are screwed. We need your help. Can you come into the show and just help us open? And we'll push back opening as far as like critics and stuff, so you can have a few weeks just to get us open, and then we'll get somebody that can come in and take over. And honestly, I wanted to help, and I would definitely have been there, but I just said, let me see it first, because I like Carrie Butler, and I'd seen her in other things, but I could not see her in the part. All in my mind, I was just so myopic about, I saw Jane do it because it was so specific. And he said, just come, she's really funny. I'm like, well, I'll tell you if she's funny. And then I went, and I watched in the back row, and she was hysterical. She was so funny.
She's
and
funny.
I just was like, okay, I am wrong. It's a totally different performance than Jane. Jane's was a little sexier, a little more sophisticated, and Carrie went for like the goofy, but it completely worked on different ends of the spectrum. And I said, okay, I'm in. I'll do it. I'll help you open. So I went in, and because I'd done it before, it wasn't so hard, but it was still, I hadn't done it in a long time. And I went ahead and helped them open. I needed a few even less days because I'd done it before. And we opened the show, and it got really good reviews. And then James was not better, and they said, "You want to stay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll stay." I'm kind of freaky vocally anyway. I'm always just hyper aware and careful. You have one voice for your whole life. One voice and one body. So take care of your voice. I see so many people your age smoking and doing crazy stuff. I can't even, I mean, if you really want to do this for a living, which clearly you do, take care of it. It's your one thing. It's your most important instrument. So, I mean, whether that be, you should never get hoarse. You know, at a game, don't be the one that's yelling the loudest. If you see your friend across the street, you don't have to scream. You can just be like, hola. You know, that is the main thing. It's just always preserving. And then if you're sick, take care of it. Water, I mean, steam, all that stuff. I just am hyper aware of that because, you know, in this show, especially like all over the world, that song is crazy to sing. It's all like mixy and then belt, and you have to be running around like making the, whatever it's called, the roller disco all at the same time and lifting stuff. And I remember somebody, do you guys know Seth Rudetsky? You probably do. It's kinda, I know you guys are kinda sad. Anyway, he's like, he knows all things about Broadway. He has like this thing called Deconstructing Broadway. He just wanted to know, he pointed out that song. He's like, that's my favorite song in the show that you sing. That's my least favorite because it's way too hard. But yeah, I found everybody really needed to take extra care because you take for granted, you're like, it's 90 minutes. But it's 90 minutes. It's full on at the end. We're like, ugh. So.
Yeah, I feel sorry for our muses.
The muses have
that just
so much singing.
Sing
yeah.
And sing. I mean, they're back in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of talk about support, placement, putting it forward.
Yeah. I mean, really, as you know, I mean, that is, if you place something correctly, it will cut through. You don't have to give it so much meat. You can really just ping it up there and it will be heard. Yeah. Carrie Butler, I mean, she's the queen of that. She has a big belt, but it's really just like she places everything so much in the mask that it just like permeates through the walls, So.
Could I ask about your vocal training?
Yeah.
When you started, I found the concert last night outstanding.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much, everybody. I mean, it was beautiful. When did you start?
Well, I have a little bit of a different story than most because, like I said in the concert, I didn't, start until later. I started when I was 27. However, I feel like my vocal training started super early because my mom played the guitar and sang with me. She taught me to sing harmony when I was about 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. And it was always I was always singing. And my training was just mimicking everybody. I wanted to be able to sing all different styles. I wanted to be able to sing like...
I hear an Ella Fitzgerald in you.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, I loved Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and Lena Horne and Billie Holiday. So I wanted my voice to be flexible. I wanted to be able to sing really low and really high and have all parts of my voice work. I mean, it started when I was a little kid, and then in junior high, I had a voice choir teacher who really kind of singled me out and knew that I had something. So, because in high school, I was low bass. I could not sing above a middle C. I could, but I was too scared. When boys' voices are changing and it was all neck, and I was like, I cannot go above the C. So I was like in the bass, which was so weird to me because clearly my speaking voice and just my voice is higher. It took a while to kind of really get comfortable with going above, a C and an E and then a G. And nowadays, the way musical theater is written, everyone has to sing high, always. It used to be you're a soprano or you're a belter. And nowadays, as you guys know, you girls have to do everything. You have to be able to belt. And guys, I mean, Jason Robert Brown, thanks to him, all guys have to be able to sing an A. It's crazy. So if somebody's a true baritone anymore, good luck. You got to be able to do something else because you're going to be too limited. But I didn't have, voice lessons like, in the traditional sense. But choirs was where I really learned. I loved show choir, like way before Glee. I loved show choir. I loved, concert choir. I loved being in that group. I loved listening. I loved musical theory. I loved being, listening for the alto part and just all things, just absorbing all that. biggest training ever is just by doing and by listening, and by singers that you love, watching them, watching their throat, watching their diaphragm, watching their mouth, watching their tongue, seeing that works for them, okay, see if I could do that, and listening to your body, seeing, knowing, okay, that hurts. That hurt, when I sing, whatever it is. I really think everybody's, anatomy is different, but you can really learn so much from each other. I mean, don't you find that when you're watching a scene, how you're thinking, oh, I would do it this way, and you're watching someone, and then you're like, oh, that's totally another way, and that actually works. And then just steal it. That's how we all learn. But yeah, and then in New York, just by doing. Liz Kaplan is a voice teacher in New York that I did take a couple of voice lessons with during All Shook Up because I was getting fried. I sang 17 songs per show, and then obviously 2 on Wednesday, 2 shows on Wednesday, 2 on Saturday, and they're all rock and roll songs, and they all start the same and sound the same. Towards the end of the run, I was like, "What song is this?" Everything started the same. But yeah, just taking care. I think voice lessons were best for me just to get warm-ups, because warming up is crucial. Anybody that's like, I don't need to warm up, you do. Even just for a bit, even just do some trilling and some humming and get in the shower and get some steam going. It is worth it, believe me. And even if you think you don't need it, you'll be surprised how much afterwards you're like, oh, I feel good. You don't, it barely takes any effort, you can just pop it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, what else, anybody? Other thoughts, ideas?
What's in the works?
I did, let's see, I have a couple movies coming out. Last year I shot 5 different movies, and they've all kind of slowly been coming out. One of them is still...
What's the scoop with Lucky Still? Is it going to happen? Are we going to see this show, this movie?
I don't even know. I heard it was at a couple of festivals.
They've done it at a couple of festivals. We did the show here.
Oh, did you?
And it was really, really fun show. We liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh my goodness, Jason Alexander, Cheyenne Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all these Broadway people are in this
Yeah.
movie. And they showed it at a couple of festivals,
Yeah.
but it hasn't.
Excuse me, I have not seen a frame of it. I have no idea what it's
Okay.
like. Or I did run into, maybe it's Jason. Yeah, somebody said they saw it and it was pretty good. But there were so many locations, and they had to, Monte Carlo was all green screen, and I mean, I don't know how that's going to be. But
The trailer's hysterical.
yeah, the trailer's good, and yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, that, and then I did a movie called Love is Strange, which was out this year and won tons of Alfred Molina and John Lithgow and Marissa Tomei, great folks in that. I have a movie out that's still in a few little theaters, 6 dance lessons in 6 weeks, with Jenna Rollins. She was the grandma in, you guys would know her from The Notebook.
She's
Yeah, wonderful. What else? And then about 3 or 4 more that I did last year that will be coming out this year someday. And then I can't tell you exactly what it is because it's not announced yet, but I will say that it is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life.
Will it be television or a movie or?
It's one of those two.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it
It's something you can watch. It's not a Broadway show, but it's one of the other two.
Okay.
But it's pretty exciting. It's the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, and so it's going to be an exciting year. But yeah, and just lots of concerts. I've been touring around a lot and writing a lot. I have a writing deal with Sony ATV. Kind of just started because I was going through some stuff personally, and so I started writing music, and then it ended up being this great thing. Sia, you guys know Sia, is a dear friend of mine, and we started writing about 3 years ago before she got super big and famous. So it's been really, really fun. So yeah, just more of that. Definitely looking for a new Broadway show. Bill and I was talking about that. I have a couple that I was gonna possibly do this last year, but I live in Los Angeles now, so to move my family and to do that, it's a huge time commitment, and it needs to be something, the exact right thing.
Tell us about the difference in doing a live stage and doing video and recording.
Yeah.
How does it change you as an actor?
It's a great question. I mean, I love performing. I love telling stories. And so here's the thing. You know, people are like, oh, it's so hard for Broadway people to do TV because they're so big. I don't believe that's true. It's all the same thing. You're just pretending. You're pretending to be someone else and you're saying words. So just do it real. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's that big of a, like, people really get in their head about it. Film is so fun because you have lots of time to create something. You have tons of time to create a character, and you're sitting in your trailer and you can really work with your coach or whoever you're creating this character with and take your time. Television is really fun, but it's very, very fast. You get so much material thrown at you. You know, Glee or 30 Rock or whatever, you get pages and pages, and you have to learn it quickly. You have to make an acting choice fast, and you got to stick to it, and then move on. And you can't be like, oh, I wish I could do that again, because no. Alec Baldwin can say that, and Tina Fey can try it again, but I have to just be like, I'm good. So it's fun, but you have to make a choice, and you have to move on, and you have to be confident. We all know those scenes where you did it, but you didn't you weren't really specific in what you were thinking or what your intent. It was kind of just like, bleh. Somebody just tweeted me a picture of, I did an episode of Law and Order, like all New York actors do an episode of Law and Order, and it was terrible. I was so bad. And this was only like 5 years ago, so I was really embarrassed about it. But Law and Order those procedurals are hard because it's up to the guest stars to do all the heavy lifting. The main stars, they're just there for exposition. They're there to be like, so what happened? So you lost your husband? All right, what'd they look like? Okay, great. And then you're the one that's like, yeah, and then he killed him, and then. And I couldn't do it that day. I could not get it up, as it were. I could not make it happen. Sorry. Proverbially speaking. I just couldn't. It was one of those days I just felt so weird in my body, and I could not even say a line and pick up. I felt fake. Everything I did felt fake. Everything felt false. And my very first scene was I had to, my wife had been murdered in front of me, and I had to pick out her killer from the lineup. So, it's not just like a we pass the mill type scene. So, here I am on the set, and this is the first day back for the cast since they've been on Christmas break. So they haven't seen each other, and they're like, oh, hey, what'd you do on Christmas? And they're like all just, yapping in the corner. In the meantime, I have this big, giant scene first up, and I want to be like, you guys, I have to concentrate, there we go. And I'm the guest star, so I just need to, shut up, I guess. But they're all yapping, and I'm just in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and then they start with usually they start with the wide shot of everybody in the scene, and then they'll come in for close-ups, your close-up, his close-up, a two-shot. They started with my close-up, which is, every actor's nightmare, because you're not in it yet, unless you're Meryl Streep or something. And then they started around me, and they're like, okay, and she's, basically like eating a muffin, like, so which one of them, do you see him up there? And I'm looking at all these extras, and then the camera's on me, and it was a nightmare. It was terrible. I was like trying to fake cry, and then I thought, well, I'm not going to try to cry because I can't get any tears today, so I'm just going to say, I don't know. I made kind of a choice. I just kind of took a swipe at it, and it shows. It's really, really embarrassing, actually. So if you see it, you can remember this story. But that's the thing. It's like, that's the excitement and also the detriment of TV because you don't have a lot of time. Theater is so thrilling because it's live. And whatever happens in the theater that night is what happens in the theater that night. It's one night only. And only people in the room get to experience it. It's just this fleeting, magical thing. If the lady in the front row is taking Starburst out of a little plastic thing, and then the man's hearing aid starts buzzing, or somebody forgets a line on stage, all of that is collectively part of the whole experience. And it's really cool because only people that are there that night get to experience that. Also, the give and take with a live audience, there's just nothing like it. You guys have experienced it, just that, first time you say something and then you get a laugh, and it's like, you almost feel a little, not that you would know, but you feel a little drunk. You feel a little like, it's a wonderful sensation. So live theater, concerts, same kind of thing, like last night. It's so fun because there's no rules. There's no character. You're playing yourself. You are the character. So I can say whatever I want, which is also scary because I can say whatever I want. And sometimes I can't think of something to say, or I start to say something and I lose my train of thought, and I'm like, maybe I won't say that, and maybe that joke's not appropriate because she's 100. Whatever it may be. So, all 4 of them I love so much, but I don't have a favorite for sure. I just feel like it's whatever I'm doing at the moment. But I love it. It's so fun. It's all I ever wanted to do. Somebody asked me, I don't know if I should be an actor or not. I don't know. I'm like, well, then you shouldn't. If you don't know, if it's not the first thing you think of in the morning and like the last thing you think about at night, don't do it. Go be a vet. Go work, That's actually really hard to be a vet.
Really hard.
That just happens to be one of our premier programs.
Exactly. It's actually perfect. Work at I don't know, something. Go do retail or something. But because it's too much of a commitment. It's all in. It's your heart and your soul, and you have to be committed. You have to be ready for 99% of the time people to say you're not good enough and you're wrong. You're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're too short, you're too gay, you're not gay enough. Seriously, I've been told all those things. What? Like for the sassy gay friend, I'm like, I can totally do that. And they're like, no, we want something more specific and more sassy, and it's not really my thing, but it's just you're never going to be the right thing all the time. But what you can be is the best, and this sounds a little cheesy, but it's absolutely true. You are the only you. The thing that you can give in an audition that nobody else can is you're the only you. You have specific things that are exactly you. So once you are totally comfortable with what you give, whether that just be a quirky sense of humor or a shyness or a weird, whatever it is, celebrate that, because that is going to make you stand out. When you suffer and when you try to be what you think they want you to be, which we all do, because we all watch auditions, we all watch American Idol and The Voice and Glee and these kids, and we think, if I'm skinnier, if I'm this, if I wear this, if I be what they want, you're just going to be like a watered down version of yourself. But if you are your best self, and celebrate whatever weirdness, I'm telling you, that is what is going to make you stand out. Because think about it, who are the people that you remember? They're the people that have something different. They're not the girl that is the perfect, little Miss America pageant girl. Boring. It's just like, next, they all look the same. But you remember the girl with a weird nose, or the dude with like funny ears and kind of a squeaky voice, whatever it is. Those are the things that you're going to remember. It's just the way it is, and you'll find that as you get out there more. But that's when things are happening for me, when I finally realize, like, I'm a little weird, I'm a little different, I look a certain way. Yes, I may look like I'm the leading man guy, but that's not, I had to find something that was weird comically. Xanadu. It's weird. It's a weird show. You guys get it. You're doing it. It's not like you're straight up, Kiss Me Kate. So finding a project that kind of marries your weirdness, that is, it happens. I'm talking a lot.
That's good.
What else? What's up?
Well, I said, before we sing, Phil, tell us about your new project that's happening.
Oh, we're
very
so
soon.
psyched. Yeah, we're going to start 2 weeks from today, just counting down. We're going to do a new Broadway musical that's called Something Rotten. It's not based on a book or a movie or anything. Right? which you almost
Or from the box
never
of
happens.
juke.
Even some of the big classics that we think of are original, like Oklahoma was based on Green Grow the Lads, and My Fair Lady was, on Pygmalion and all that. This one was not based on anything. So we're still getting new songs, and it goes, we put in a new scene here, and there's a new song for these two characters, and then it could be out in another 3 days, and another song. So it's really cool, and we're very excited about it, and it's very funny, and there's lots of laughs and lots of tap dancing, and a great cast, and
Great cast, like the best of the best in New York City.
there's just so much
cool.
fun, and we have my friend Casey Nicola is our director, and he's just the greatest to work with. Cheyenne's done stuff with him because he's just so fun and giving, and makes it a joy to go to work and create something every day.
He directed Book of Mormon too, so he's
And Aladdin,
he
and
knows
The
what
Drowsy
he's doing.
Chaperone that I also did, and so we're really psyched about it. And I was just saying that when I get home to New York on Thursday, I got songs to transcribe and vocal arrangements to do, and we're off we go. We had to go to the theater the other day and look at how they've rebuilt the pit since the last show I did in that theater, and where everything's going to be. It's just very cool, and it's very exciting.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Give them a quick little.
Oh yeah, here's
Synopsis
the
of the
2-minute
story.
synopsis. There are two brothers, Nick and Nigel Bottom, who are in Renaissance England. They're two writers, and they can't. They're having trouble making ends meet, and they're because of their arch rival named Will, as in Will Shakespeare, who's sort of a pompous, not very talented rock star. And he does these sort of rock numbers where people scream, "We want Will!" and the girls throw their panties at him like he's a 70s rock star, and that kind of stuff. And so, and he's very funny, and that's Christian Borle, and it's just a hysterical thing. And they decide they gotta figure out a way to make a living, so they go to a soothsayer to see the future. A soothsayer named Nostradamus. Not the Nostradamus, his cousin Thomas Nostradamus. And they ask him what the biggest thing in plays is going to be. What will people be lined up down the street to see at the theater? Oh, I'm getting a vision. Something called a musical. Well, what's that? Oh, it seems that in the middle of saying their lines, the actor stops speaking and suddenly break into song for no apparent reason, and just all these sort of cliche things. And you do a big number about. They also break into dance. Why? Does it advance the plot? Not necessarily. And all these things. And then we do this huge restaurant. Magically, showgirls with feathers appear. There's 15 tap dancers who go flapping on, and it's just all hysterical. And so then they work for a while trying to come up with what their new musical is going to be about. And there's a couple funny bits about what they decide to write the musical about. And then they're not getting a good idea. So they go back to the soothsayer and say, okay, they're going to steal an idea that Shakespeare might have had. Oh, we'll ask him what Shakespeare's greatest play is going to be, and we'll beat him to the punch and write a musical about Shakespeare's greatest play. Well, what's Shakespeare's greatest play at the soothsayer? Magic. Omelet. Oh, you mean like with the eggs? Yes. Oh, yes. With the eggs? Omelet, yeah. Oh, and I see something Danish. Oh, you mean it's like a breakfast theme? So he was, basically one letter off, and they write an entire musical about breakfast. Omelet, the musical, and there's tap dancing eggs, and there's bacon, and people in chef's outfits, and all that kind of stuff. And then, ultimately, they get thrown in jail because it's so terrible. And instead of putting them in jail, they're found guilty and banished to the new world. And take your musicals with you. And so, thus how musicals were born here in the United States. Ludicrous, right? And who knows, the whole plot could change before we open. We don't have to base it on anything. So, but it's exciting and it's fun.
That's magical.
So, keep your fingers crossed for us in April when we open.
First of all, your tone is gorgeous. Thank you. Really, really pretty voice. Such a good spin. A lot of flexibility. It's great. I love how you know, obviously this is a deep song. This is a conversation between, even though we're not hearing the mom, we feel her because you created her out here, and you've had your, you know, your beginning. You obviously, you know, physically at the beginning, you gave some kind of inclination as to you're in the middle of a conversation, you know, like, which is great. I would encourage you with that to go further with that in the song. So, like, Phil, what's the very right before the first time you sing "Proud of Your Boy"? You have
So you do that right at the top, and then sort of at the end of the first verse, basically, before you go
Right.
to the bridge, it goes back to
Right.
"Proud of Your Boy" again.
before, I want to see more. Like you're trying to convince her a little bit more, just to give it a little more of this, a little more level, because there needs to be, we need to see on you an impetus to keep going, whether it be she's walking away, or she's like, I'm not going to hear this right now, and you're doing it, you're doing all of it. I would just take it further. So like, especially the very first time that you sing "Proud of Your Boy," some kind of different, because right now it was in the same world as.
Yeah. There's the beginning ones, and then you talk about your rotten, and you're all this, and then I'll finally make you.
Oh, that's where. Oh, so he did set it at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it was this one, the very first time, because you're saying all this stuff. I'll get over this. I'm a mess up. I mess everything up. I know. I haven't. You know. You have all of these dreams and wishes for me, and I'm just not doing it. I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, but you know what? I'm gonna make you proud. So I think the first time, especially. Finally make you proud. Whatever that means to you, do you know which part I'm talking about? Before you actually, yeah.
Now comes the better part.
You're setting up, I'm gonna make you proud, and then this has happened, I know I haven't done this right, I haven't done this right, and you'll see, now comes the best part. Something's gonna cross my heart, I'm gonna finally make you, and whether it's hard for you to say, whether it's, whether you made a choice about it, and you're like, I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna make you and Dad proud. I'm gonna make this family proud. Whatever it is, it's just some kind of change. Whether that's a vocal change, whether that's just a posture change, whether that's, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just something. I think more some kind of physical and also vocal thing there. I'm trying to think. I should have written stuff down, but I was really into it.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's really, really great. It's a good song for you too.
Thank you.
I don't know, what are you?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You want to try a little of that beginning and see if you can incorporate that?
Yeah.
Because the more it's that we see, this is something that you've thought about for a long time. This is something that you're like, okay, and maybe that's how I'm seeing it. But for you, maybe, you know, you've really finally gotten the nerve to go and talk to her and say like, okay, I know this hasn't worked out exactly like you thought, but this is how it's going to be from now on. So the more definitive you are, and like, no, wait, don't leave, because I want to tell you something. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I promise I'm the more that you're trying to make her stay, and she's going to leave. She's like, no, I've heard this before a lot. You know, I think the more of that will just make the song even bubble.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just maybe do the first verse again or something.
Sure.
Proud of your boy, I will make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, Ma, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time, I've wasted me. Some say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer. Okay, I agree that I've been one rotten kid. Some sun, some pride, and some joy. But I'll I'll get over this lousing up, messing up, screwing up times. You'll see, ma, now comes the better part. Someone's gonna make good across this human heart. Make good and finally make you proud of your boy.
She's gonna leave.
Tell me that I've been a louse and a loafer. You won't get a fight here, no ma'am. Say I'm a gold brick, a goof off, no good. But that couldn't be all that I am. Water flows under the bridge, let it pass, let it go. There's no good reason that you should believe me, not yet. I know, but someday and soon I'll make you proud of your boy. But I can't make myself taller or smarter or handsome or wise. I'll do my best, what else can I do? Since I wasn't born perfect like Dad or you. Mom! I will try hard to make you proud of your boy.
So good. Did you guys see about halfway through when he really kicked in there, when he really hooked into that idea of trying to convince her with, so good. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You get better every time. You've improved so much. You know what I mean? I mean that only as a compliment. You just get better and stronger. Your voice gets bigger and better and stronger all the time. It's really great. And you should just get a new copy of this print out because half the notes there's a lot of notes that don't show up there. You know what I mean? And I know it sometimes, so I'm not complaining for me, but somebody might not know the song very well. It might, there's a lot of the stems are missing and things are not there. So you just want to print it out with more ink in your printer or something. Or I don't know, you know what I mean? Because you don't want somebody to not be able to read them. I know that sounds stupid from the piano player, but you have somebody sight reading your song. And if all the notes haven't printed out right, it can really screw you up. You know, it's just the thought, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, well, good morning. I'm Elena Counts, and I'm going to be singing Always a Bridesmaid from I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. Well, I've walked down the aisle as much as Liz Taylor, but I've always stood up to the side. Each bride has me dressed in a gown I detest. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. For Caitlin, I wore satin, which I looked really fat in. But then again, you should have seen her man Ken. All those calories he lugged up till his arteries clogged up. He died on the couch watching ESPN. Too many weddings, too many dresses that'll make my hips look so wide. Not a gown I'd reuse, ditto the matching shoes. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. For Tabitha, I wore taffeta, you should never. People laugh at ya, but I had a hunch her marriage was doomed. The groom tried to stroke me while we danced. Hokey pokey, they divorced before the honeymoon. Once my gown was flourish, made me look kinda whorish, but my best friend Dolores was never quite sane. She shot her new mister 'cause he petted her sister. I say thick side at the very end.
Oh yeah, no, it was hips here. Not a gun I ever used. Ditto to matching shoes always. I just think there's a time. Obviously, at the end, you know, you kind of touched on it a little bit. You kind of, you know, yes, all the men are gone, and those frickin' dresses are in your closet, and you're never gonna wear them.
Right.
But you're lonely. Yeah. Why do you always have to be the sassy friend in the ugly dress?
Yeah.
Where's your man?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that would be interesting if you could still do all that stuff. This is happening, and they're ugly, and they're orange, and ugh, and they're gonna leave anyway. Why do I always have to, you know, whatever that means to you. I guess we find a place for it. Obviously, the very, very last phrase is the obvious place.
Right.
And I don't know if it's a matter of lightening it, which you are, but even more vocally, or even almost singing it, or
I think that some of that is gonna help you a little bit to do a little softer, a little more sweet, because it's a very long song.
Yeah.
I mean, this song is almost, you know, a song that might be too long to do
I would
at
cut
an
one
audition.
verse.
Right,
I would cut
right,
one
right.
verse in audition for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great, and they're all. It's kind of more of the same. Like once you've heard two verses about how crazy it is, then the third one, we're like, we get it. You know what I mean? Not that you're not fantastic. It's the way the song
No,
is.
yeah, absolutely.
But for us and for fresh ears, I would definitely like shorten it a little bit. I don't know. Do you want to do like part of it, like maybe
Yeah, a little bit.
the last part
Yeah.
again, kind of maybe.
Yeah, you wanna do like the last chorus, or?
Yeah, just wherever is good.
And then one really kind of general thing for you. This is a story song, a song that has this happened, this happened, this is how I feel about it, and then this happened too. These songs are the most. They seem like they're easy, but they're not, because you actually have to talk to every person, and it's hard because auditions. This is like the number one thing that actors struggle with: where to look in an audition.
Amen.
Where do you look? Believe me, this is something that, to the ends of time, we will all have different ideas about. And I really feel like it depends on the song. First of all, you need to, if your audition people, if your adjudicators are behind the desk, you want to include them, but you don't want to put them on the spot. So, if I'm singing my whole song to you, after a while you're like, okay, uncomfortable, you can look away. If you're doing that to an audition person, they feel like they have to respond to you. They feel like they have to, give you something. And then they're not what they're supposed to be doing, which is, watching the audition and giving you pointers and stuff. But you also don't want to be in what I call like Fantastics land, when you're looking up above, far beyond everyone's head. You can live up there, but you have to sometimes bring people into your world, otherwise you're going to lose people.
Right.
So in this kind of song especially, sometimes you have to, because it's like, listen, this happened, and then, my thighs, and then da-da-da-da-da. Find some people to, even if you're not looking at people, what I will do sometimes, if I don't feel like looking at people, which sometimes I don't. I did a show at the Carlisle in New York, which is so small. There are 85 seats. When I was standing on stage, this is how close the front guy was. I didn't want to look at him, he's way too close. So I would look past their heads, or at their plates, or at their candles on the table. It looks like I'm looking at people, and people think I'm looking at people. Not really. I don't really want to. But definitely make it seem like you're including everybody in the story.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that will be It's a good question. Sorry to interrupt. But this is
No, you're
helpful
fine.
for everybody.
Yeah.
He asked about in Proud of Your Boy, when it's a specific person. Obviously, what you need to, for that song to work, you need to establish where she is. And you did. You were talking to her, you're like, she's there. You can't move her, because it will be like, what's happening to the mom? So yeah, definitely place her like you did, but you don't have to sing the whole thing to her, because when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to explain yourself, do you stare at them the whole time you're talking? Most people don't. When you're talking to somebody, you're telling your point and you're looking around, this is happening, and then you go back to them to check in to see if they're getting it. So I think it's just more of that. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
One She shot her new mister, cause he betted her sister. He's not dead, but now he walks like John Wayne.
Stop for one sec. That's good. You're including more. This especially, you can include us even more.
Okay.
Like, he's not dead. Maybe in your mind, somebody in the audience was like, is he dead?
Yeah.
He's not dead. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Little things like that will make it like, oh, she gets it.
Okay.
So try that again. Like imagining people like reacting to these horrible things you're saying.
Once my gown was flourish, made me look kinda whorish, but my best friend Dolores was never quite sane. She shot her new mister, cause he betted her sister. Oh, he's not dead, but now he walks like John Wayne. Too many weddings, too many dresses, that all make me look so thick-eyed. My friends can't assess a man or a dress. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. When I look in my closet, there's a rainbow deposit of gowns so grotesque that I've grown. All those husbands are gone, but those dresses live on. Even moths seem to leave them alone. Too many weddings, too many messes, but at least I've hung on to my pride. I've lived life alone, but the terms are my own. Always a bridesmaid. Thank you, Lord. Never a
Did you guys see at the end how she really felt about that? Yeah. At the last like 16 bars, you can tell she's not happy living like this. But you know what? This is how it's gonna be. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Oh yeah, and listen to this. Ah, you know, that's like the final like button on how she'd be like, this is fine. This is what I'm gonna put out there, and that's what that last note is.
Right,
It's not
right.
like listen to how great I can sing. It's like I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna even put my walls up even more. So good. Great job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Abby Bumbledare, and I will be singing Killer Instinct from Bring It On. Dear, caught up in heaven, a prayer for Campbell. When she was my hero, now she's a disgrace. I'm here on top, and she's less than zero, dragging me down to save face. She always worked hard, she was trusting and fair, and Lord, that's the crux of her problem right there. You need that killer instinct to give you the nerve to grab everything you want in life but may not deserve. Like if some girl's in your way, there's only one thing to do. You blackmail your mother who sits on the school board to get Campbell transferred and right from the life that she knew. And your dreams come true. 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 Oh, it takes that killer instinct, that killer desire. Are you the little ants, or do you set the ants on fire? And if there's two girls in line to beat the team before you, then you hack the school system and change Skylar's grade from a D to an F, and you hire some sick guy to lick Kyler's toothbrush so she contracts mono. Now no one is left to be captain, so they turn to you. And your dreams come true. Do I sound awful? What have I become? Who's that girl in the mirror?
cheerleading music.
Yeah. I guess my biggest thought was just relish in it more. You definitely about halfway in really started to like get in your killer instinct, and how I think the first time that we can see that is when you're rattling off all of these things. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and then they came to me. Like you're looking yourself in the mirror. The two sides that you did is great. The showing like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. I'm not a good girl. But I love being a bad girl. You have to like, if you relish in that bad part even more, than the part where you're looking at your mirror and you're like, I'm not such a good human. That is going to be even more effective. So, what's the part where you're like, and they did this and they did this and they did this and they did this and they
Hack the
did this?
school system.
Yeah, all of those things. Instead of like listing off just a list, like it's a laundry list, like think of these are all your accomplishments. These are things like this happened, oh, this happened too. They did this, and guess what? It came to me. I'm the girl. I'm the one. Yeah. And then you're into your that great stuff. It's so good because you're so beautiful and it fits your voice and stuff well. How you're gonna even take it further and make is the more I guess dirtier and I just not dirty in the sense but like rougher. The more you can, because you're so put together and you're so pretty and your voice is so pretty and sweet and it fits the song and stuff. The more when you're talking about this stuff, we can see that like she's a bad girl. She's a dirty girl who does bad things to people. The more we can see that in your body, the more we can see that in your eyes, it's gonna just take the song to a different place.
Okay,
You wanna
thank
try
you.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it looking silly. This is a silly song.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, we passed out with this musical. We
Great.
know.
Perfect. Good. So yeah, go. Yeah. Even take it too far. Oftentimes we'll get that note like take it too far, and then we take it too far, and it's actually the right place because it's musical theater. Come on. All right. So maybe I don't know what's like the bridge going into.
Oh yeah, what's a good
Or I guess it is the bridge. The
mirror part is sort of the bridge, yeah.
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 So before that, I guess,
You want
to
to
give her a good ramp up into that.
The killer instinct, that second verse, killer instinct, killer desire, you're the little ant.
Oh, okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's sort of, you already blackmailed Campbell, but then we're into the next verse. Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. You want to just go? Is that good?
Yeah.
See how horrible you are.
Okay.
Show us.
Okay. It takes that killer instinct, that killer desire. Are you the little ants, or the ants set the ants on fire? And if there's two girls in line to beat the team before you, then you hack the school system and change Kyler's grade from a D to an F. Then you hire some sicko who lick Kyler's toothbrush and she can draft motto. Now no one is left to be captain, so they turn to you! And your dreams come true. I sound awful, what have I become? Who's that girl in the mirror I see? Some backstabbing whack job I'd run screaming from. Oh God, I'm loving me. Wouldn't all of you kill to be me? You need that killer instinct since time first began. Get this con to Pretzel Palin. You need a killer plan. You need to reach the top if it's the last thing you do. I'm the girl to beat. The high school queen teachers kiss my ass and I'm just 15. Raising hell and I'm a felon and a forfeit friend. I just use my killer instinct and my dreams come true.
Right. So good. Two little things that so good. You totally took the note, and did you hear the laugh you got? And all you did is just you just committed more to it. One is a physical thing, and then one is a that'll just even take it even. Oh, I remember. I just love being me.
it's not awful.
I just love being me.
Right. Is this the, where's the keychain?
It's right there.
Yeah. So that was so great the way you backstabbed it and then we turned to you. Oh God, you just love being me. I would give that some kind of something. Give that some love in terms of like saying it or like some kind of yeah, like just a second. Something to where it's like your own little like, sorry, I didn't mean to show you guys that. And then going into that, the key change, even though we're in a little room like this will make even more, even if you just like, how does that go?
I just love
Yeah, on the key change, I would just take 2 steps forward. Even just a little bit like that in the audience, it's so effective. We'll all be like, okay. Second, you know, it will definitely like, because then when you get your little like, doing and I almost didn't say any words just now, but you know what I mean, right?
Good. That's a good song.
That's a really good song.
It's like you sing a little, and then but you sort of can be bad and good.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. Good choice. Very nice.
I met a girl, a wonderful girl. She's really got a lot to recommend her for a girl. A fabulous creature without any doubt. Hey, what am I getting so excited about? She's just a girl, an everyday girl. And yet I guess she's really rather special for a girl. For once you have seen her, the others are out. Hey, what am I getting so excited about? But so what? What has she got? Others have not. 2 eyes, 2 lips, a nose. Most girls have some of those. Yet when she looks up at me, what do I see? The most enchanting face. My pulse begins to race. Hey! I met a girl, a marvelous girl. She's rarer than uranium and fairer than a pearl. I found me a treasure and I want to shout. This is what I'm getting so excited about. I met a girl and I fell in love today.
Good job. It's a good song. I did Bells Are Ringing years ago. I haven't heard that in a really long time. Okay, so this is what I'm getting so excited about. You gotta get excited, right? Because 2 times you stop yourself. You know, 2 times you're.
Hey, what am I getting
Hey, what am I getting so? You have to show us that you're getting too excited. Like, oh, he's getting too excited. He should like chill out. And right now you're excited and you're thinking about the girl, but it's the same. You're like, hey, what I would challenge you to do is, I met a girl. Not to recommend her for a girl, fabulous creature without any doubt. You have to something there. We have to create something to where you think you're getting out of control. So whatever that means to you, whether it's to dance a little bit, or you're like, hey, you have to have something. You have to find a reason for you to say, hey, what am I getting so excited about? Do you know what I mean? So, what would that be for you? Yeah, you like that? Yeah, great. I love it. So that's perfect. That fits in your body. So I would, especially for you, because that's the kind of parts you're gonna play. You're gonna be like the handsome guy, but kind of silly and kind of fun. And yeah, that's good. So whatever that you have to just it's like maybe you're stuck to dancing and you're like, what? I gotta keep it together. You know what I mean? Hey, what am I getting so excited about? And then she's this, and she's this. Oh my God, maybe I'm doing this. Okay? Stop. Why am I getting so excited? So there has to be, each one has to grow. There has to be a reason for you to say it. Because at the end, whatever you're doing, this is what I'm getting so excited about. Because I met a girl, and she's this, and she's this, and she's this, and it's a wonderful day. You already have the lightness, you have the excitement about this relationship. We get all of that. This will just make it more exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to try that again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try and come in too.
That'd be
I
good.
can vamp as long as everybody needs to. Y'all good?
I met a girl, a wonderful girl. She's really got a lot to recommend her for a girl. A fabulous creature without any doubt. Hey, what am I getting so excited about? She's just a girl, an everyday girl.
That's good. First of all, who are you talking to at the top? Who would you guess?
My girlfriend.
Right now. Yeah, right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
I'm singing about my girlfriend to someone on the street.
Someone on the street. Okay. Just pick it. Pick up her. If you're singing to someone on the street, are they walking by? Or are they still? Or are you just telling the trees and the world? Whatever it is, it's cool. Just decide. Just pick one. And then also, so this is where we want to, when you're getting excited, the hey, what am I getting so excited about? Needs to stop.
Okay.
Like, what? Getting so excited about it. Because otherwise it's the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So try it again, and when the hey, you're like, you just stop all, you get yourself together, and then you go on with the song. And then it gets excited, and then it's
What's that?
I met a girl, a wonderful girl. She's really got a lot to recommend her for a girl. A fabulous creature without any doubt. Hey, what am I getting so excited about? She's just a girl, an everyday girl. And yet I guess she's really rather special for a girl. For once you have seen her, the others are out. Hey, what am I getting so excited about? But so what has she got? Others have not. 2 eyes, 2 lips, a nose. Most girls have some of those. Yet when she looks up at me, what do I see? The most enchanting face. My pulse begins to race. Hey! I met a girl, a marvelous girl. She's rarer than uranium and fairer than a girl. They found me a treasure and I want to shout. This is what I'm getting so excited about. I met a girl and I fell in love today.
Yeah, you were totally in it. Everything was better. Your pitch was better. Your energy was better. I was super excited. Wasn't that so much more exciting? It was specific at the beginning. He was like, you chose to be telling everyone that was walking by. You, and she's this, and she's this, and she has a nose. And she's this. It's great. It's a good song for you. Yeah, great job. Good job.
I don't expect my love affairs to last for long. Never fool myself that my dreams will come true. But being used to trouble, I anticipated. But all the same,
Your voice is very, very pretty.
Thank you.
Very great instrument. Couple things. I think for you in this song, that's gonna make it the thing that first popped out to me is, sorry, I have so many thoughts. The ending, when you just now, the very last couple of phrases, is when I really, really felt something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, yeah, because I wasn't fully convinced that this was the right song for you in the middle of it, just because some of the lines, you try to convince yourself that you're hard, you don't care. Nothing about you is hard. You know what I mean? You're like not a hard girl. You're inviting and you're warm and you're sweet and you're kind, and that is what's interesting. And what the juxtaposition between the way you look and your softness and your femininity with someone who really thinks of himself as, you know what, nothing's gonna get to me. I just survived this horrible experience. You know, calling through much time and I'll be fine. I know, maybe not that fine, but I'll survive. I won't recall the names and faces of this sad occasion.
Mm-hmm.
This is horrible that happened. Even though you don't want to leave because it's safe and like it's your home. So I think the way to really make this song live for you is, first of all, I think you need to plant it. I don't think you should wander.
Okay.
Because when you do move, it needs to be specific. So I think, and also these three verses are three verses, and we need to make them different because they're three different types. The first time you're telling us what happened. The second time you're convincing yourself that, I don't know. And then the third time you're like, you know what, I got this. This is what's going to happen. So, how do we do that? What do you think?
How do we do which, or make the three verses different?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is, you're a good actress. And I think trust yourself to go further.
Okay.
And I think let yourself sit in it a little more and be a little sadder. Because then the moments when you do smile and when you're like, you know what, I'm going to be fine. I got this. This is tough, but I'm good. I'm totally good. Don't I look good? Totally fine, actually. But I'm not fine. My heart is breaking. The more you sit in that, the more we are all going to totally feel it. So maybe just try it again. And also, there was something funky at the very beginning.
Yeah, I think I came in here.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, so just sit in it. And think about what has just happened. You've just been kicked out, and you have nowhere to go. And
yeah, because you also do the same. So what happens now? Where am I going to? That same thing after each verse. So one of those times could be, where do I go now that I'm kicked out of the house and I have nowhere to live? Another one could be, okay, this is how I, lived my life. I mean, she's only 17 years old or 16. So far, what am I going to do? Where am I going? What am I going to do with myself? Not just where I'm going to live. So there's different ways to interpret that exact same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that can help you along the same lines as what he was saying.
yeah, and I just thought of something else too. Your voice is so good, and it's hard when you have a really strong voice. You want to just. I will speak from my own experience. My very first show, I had 3 sung lines, and I wanted every note to count. It was 7 brides for 7 brothers, and I sang, let me out, let me get near her, let me go through the door, fellas, it's war. Like, literally, I had one phrase, and I held every note out as long as I could, because I wanted to make sure everyone could tell that I could sing really good. Even though it wasn't good for the character. I should have been like, let me out, let me get near her. But, how are people going to be like, oh, his voice is so good? I challenge you, because you're going to get lovely phrasing in this to show that you can sing. I challenge you to cut some things short, to speak things, because some of them, just it's hard. I know. Believe me, it's hard because you want to like flourish and spin and feel that vocal massage going on. But yeah, see if you can find times to like just show us. Yeah.
I don't expect my love affairs to last for long. Never fool myself that my dreams will come true. Being used to trouble I anticipated, but all the same I hated. Wouldn't you? So what happens now? So what happens now? Where am I going to? Where am I going to? Time and time again I've said that I don't mind, that I'm immune to gloom, that I'm hard through and through. But every time it matters, all my words desert me, so anyone can hurt me, and they do. So what happens now? So what happens now? Where am I going to? Where am I going to?
And maybe this is when you move. Maybe you take it. Maybe think about it there. We have one more thing to say.
Call in 3 months' time and I'll be fine. I know.
You're convincing yourself.
Maybe not that fine, but I'll survive anyhow. I won't recall the names and places of each sad occasion, but that's no consolation. Here and now, so what happens now? So what happens now? Where am I going to? Where am I going to?
So much better.
Yeah. Did you feel more solid in what you're thinking, but also just it was more effective. It was sadder. It was like, how did you guys feel?
I mean, I cried, so.
I mean, part of the third verse really felt like she kicked in.
Exactly, yeah, and you'll hear it from your peers too. And when you even acknowledge, when you looked over there a couple times, just acknowledging, just with an eye flick or just looking, we don't even need to know what happened over there, but we know it broke your heart, and we know that it hurt you, and we know that it's probably a good thing that you're leaving, even though it's hard. And just a look over there, and you don't even have to give it too much. Like you did was perfect, but it's very, very effective. That's what you'll find in these songs. You only have, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes to tell your entire story. Establish what you want to say. You established you're talking to your mom. You established that you're, what we established. You as well. All of those things, but set it up. So you're telling. It's basically you like. Here, this is what you're going to hear, audience. This is the story you're going to hear right now. And then you tell them the story, and then you remind them what you just told them. That's basically what we're doing with the song. You're telling them what they're going to hear, because then we're like, okay, this is what I'm going to hear. And you tell them the story, and then we're reminding them. So that's great. I mean, the more specific you can be as possible, because there's so many people that sing good. There's so many people that look good in dresses and pants, and the more specific you are to what you're saying, and the more interesting choice you make, and the more you let your heart break on that about having to wear those ugly dresses, and and it's getting even like making some of those notes shorter. I know it's harder, but it's that actually when you cut a phrase short like that, it gives the audience a time to it's like a little break on your ear, and also we think about what you just said more and how that's affecting you.
Mhm.
So great job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Pretty much out of time. Is there any other questions you want to talk to Cheyenne about? We got a bunch of people. I'm just saying. Anybody else you want to ask about or anything? Really good song choices today. You know, those were all good choices for you guys and really nice. Anything else you
No, thanks for having
wanna
me, guys.
add?
This is really fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Really good.
As always, thank you both for coming.
Oh
You bet, you bet.
no, always nice.
Let's drive 2 hours in the snow, Phil.
Let's